Hey, Sacred Roots Ministry leaders. My name is Melissa Gepford, and I'm on the team here at Sacred Roots, where we create resources for parents and caregivers of littles ages 0 to 3. And we are so excited to partner with you, the ministry leaders, to partner with the families in your community. We know that parenting is really hard and that stage is really, really difficult. And so we're excited to come alongside you as the ministry leaders as you support those families in your community and in your church. And so we just want to share a little bit about the new resources that you'll be receiving. You're going to be receiving resources in a box. Now, I've got my box here. I've already opened it because I've done a few takes of this, but I've already opened the box. Your box is going to look different. You're going to have resources for every family unit that you've reported to us or told us that's participating. But for this video, I only have one of each, but you're going to have multiples of every single resource that we're sharing here. And then you get to strategize and dream up with your ministry teams, with your coach from Sacred Roots on how to disperse and how to implement these resources. So we create the resources. We have the science, we have the faith training, all of the things behind the resources, but you have the boots on the ground. You have the knowledge and the relationships with these families. And so you know better than we do how best to connect these resources with the families. And so that's your work to do. And we're excited to come alongside you and help you brainstorm. Reach out to your coach if you have questions about that. So let's get into it. We're so excited. So the first thing that you're going to see is actually a coming soon card. You'll see it here, coming soon. We fell in love, and I hope you have too, with our little acorn Oakley. They are our mascot, and they represent all of the potential that every human, every child, every infant has within them. When acorns are planted in healthy soil, when they are watered and when they are given sunlight, when they are tended to, they grow into beautiful and flourishing trees. And so that's the heart here at Sacred Roots, is that we want to help parents and caregivers do that work well so that we can grow deep sacred roots, and so that kids can thrive. So because we're obsessed with Oakley, we thought it would be so fun to actually have a little Oakley plushie. And so every church is going to receive in the fall sometime. Just be on the lookout. It'll be a cute little surprise for you. You're going to receive a few cute, soft little plushies that are Oakley to try out in your ministry setting. And so the possibilities here are endless. We're not prescribing any which way for you to use these. But we just can't wait to see how Oakley shows up in your ministry. We want to hear about it. Okay. So that's what's coming soon. Here's another little thing that we've got. We've got some cards and some QR codes, and every family should be getting access to this in some way. The first thing that we've got here is a commissioned song by Sacred Roots Network. It is called I Have Been Made, and it's on our Spotify playlist. So you can scan the code and listen. And this is an official Sacred Roots Network song. We're so excited about it. And then you can also scan here for the chords to play along. If this is a song that you want to implement in your ministry in some way, maybe you've got a kids choir, maybe you've got, I don't know, like a fun little band. But here are the chords, and so you can play along with this song and actually sing it in church if you want. So I Have Been Made, and it's been commissioned by Sacred Roots. We're so excited about that. We've got some other upcoming resources for you that we want you to be aware of. And we've got again, some QR codes for these. We've got some guided meditations for you. We have recorded 3 to 5 minute guided reflections. And these were created to offer parents and caregivers just a little bit of like pause in the middle of their day. And so these are rooted in grace, grounded in scripture, and it provides a space for parents and caregivers to breathe, reflect, and reconnect with God. And so this is really crucial work that we are doing, that parents and caregivers are doing. And so you got to fill up too, right? And so this is for the parents and caregivers, helping families grow to nourish their own rhythms and nourish their own faith. And so they can scan this QR code down here and listen to those. And then the next thing that we're going to be launching in the fall, starting in September, is some text messages. These are designed to gently support parents and caregivers as they nurture faith at home. And so when they sign up for text messages, they'll get 2 a week for some time, right? So we're going to start after Labor Day and we'll go all the way up to the Advent season and we'll stop before then. And we're just trying this out. It's kind of like a beta test to see if it's something that parents and caregivers want to be part of, and if it's beneficial and helpful for them. So what we're going to be doing is there's going to be like little words of inspiration, some potential practices that we might, encourage them to try for the day. But really, this is just helping kind of like to spark some sort of rhythm in their life where they receive this and respond to it. So it's helping embed those spiritual habits into the daily routines. Okay, so we also have a couple of other fun little things. We've got this cute little sticker. It just says Connect with Sacred Roots Network on it. You can put this on water bottles, you can put it on your laptop, you can put it wherever, on notebooks, whatever. That's just for this. And then we also have this window cling here. And the idea here, it says Connect as well. The idea here is that this can actually be moved around. So you could put it on a mirror, maybe it's the first thing that you see when you wake up and it reminds you to connect. Maybe it's something that you put on your window on your car. But really, this is meant to be some sort of a cue for families and caregivers to take a deep breath, to connect with those around you. And we also have an explainer here on how to use it, why connection is so important, and then some ideas for cultivating connection with God and with others. And so this is it's on some great paper, but it's something that they can have with them or take a picture of, whatever. But this explainer goes with the Connect Clean. And then I would also put, when you're thinking logistics as a ministry leader, these could go with or could be a separate thing. So however you want to make that work in your setting. And then this I'm so excited about is a Sacred Rhythms journal that is printed and hole punched. So the idea is that families would receive this and they can actually work through this, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. But you can put this in folders, or we're kind of thinking like, Erin Condren style like planners. Some people have planner sheets or binders or something where they like to kind of have everything all together. So we didn't want to really prescribe how to do this, but there are a few options. You could do binders. You could just give it to them like this if that's something that they're already using as a binder, or you could maybe get some like folders or something like that for them. And this is also another beta test. So we're thinking like we want to learn more about this and how parents and caregivers utilize this. And if it's something that they're interested in, we'll add more to it in the future, and then think about product production for it in a second form. But so this is the family Sacred Rhythms, and it's got cute little Oakley here. There's a welcome page. The idea of this journal is really to help families. We've been talking about, okay, so it's really important to develop a rhythm in your life to help instill faith and spiritual growth in your littles and also for yourself, right? But what we found is that it's hard to figure out how to do that, right? Like, okay, so sure, it's great to find a rhythm. How do you do that? And so this is kind of like a little bit of workbook around how to find time. And so it's also a little bit of an audit. So you're going to have like some timetables and some worksheets for you to start thinking about how you spend your time daily and weekly, and then some wondering questions about how you hope that your time is spent. And then the next one, and then there's some prayers and scripture along the way. The next section is about your people. Okay, so we want to think about auditing not only our time, but who we spend our time with and who we have relationships with. And so you want to think about your community, who supports you, who are your people, who has shaped you and helped you become who you are, and who is shaping your child. And then you have this like little community map. You've probably seen these before. So you're in the middle, your family, and then who map out who's closest to you and who not just within proximity, but emotionally and relationally, right? Again, there's some more wondering and journaling questions and prayers. And then the next section is all about considering the sacred practices, like your spiritual practices. So, what tools do you already have in your toolbox? What tools would you like to learn a little bit more about? But what are the things and practices that you do that actually help you feel connected to God? And so there's a space for you to write or doodle or draw your thoughts about what spiritual practices are most meaningful for you. And so that might mean, a caregiver might feel really close to God and like it's meaningful when they listen to worship music or when they serve in their community or when they're sleeping, right? Because that's some sleep is spiritual, right? So what spiritual practices resonate with the caregiver? And then where and when do they most feel connected to God? And so sometimes, we lean too far into like the doing and the doing of faith, when really sometimes it's just a being. And so where is it that we get to just be? And when is it that we just get to be close to God? And how can we like carve out time to do those things and be and like get to those places, right? And so you can see over time as they complete this journal, it's kind of scaffolding, like we're building on top of the next session or concept. And so and then there's like a couple of little wondering questions around like what spiritual practices do you want to pass on to your kid, right? Because there are sometimes that parents and caregivers, they've received some spiritual practices that they could do without or felt harmful to them. And we definitely don't want to pass on anything like that, right? And so this is a chance for them to kind of consider like, okay, what are the healthy practices that I do want to pass on to my kid? And then how do we plan to implement that? And so then the last little part is about um, hopes and dreams. Okay, so what is the hope and dream that you have for your family as you implement this strategy? And you want to, so there's a little activity like taking a quiet moment to imagine the future, like reflecting on your hopes and prayers for your family. And so then you've got some space for some more dreams, truths. What truths do you want to pass on to your kids or kid? And then there's a little, I think this is such a sweet little page. It's pretty blank. I don't know. Dear blank, this is an opportunity for the parent caregiver to write a love letter to their child. Um, and it's got questions like when you grow up, or not questions, prompts. When you grow up, I dream that you will blank. I hope that you will value blank. May you be in the habit of blank. I hope you will know that God is blank. And may you see yourself as blank. And then some wondering questions, and then an opportunity to write a prayer for your child. And so I just feel like there's so many different ways and like ways to implement this resource, even just that one little sheet, right? Like you could make 1,000 copies of just that little note and give that as like a baptism gift. Or maybe maybe this whole journal is a baptism gift, or maybe it's for the Advent season, or maybe, there's all sorts of ways. So we're not prescribing. This is just you get to figure it out because you know your people better. And so you can also on the back here there is a QR code to share your thoughts. because we love feedback. We want to make sure that we are creating resources that actually benefit families. We're not like up in some ivory tower or like in our little cubicles just creating for the sake of creating. The point of Sacred Roots is to support families, to support caregivers of littles as they embark on developing and implementing faith formation within the home. And so one other piece that we want to mention for you is there are a few ways that families can get more involved with the Sacred Roots community if they're interested. And so we actually are offering some support groups to build relationships and connect with others, where you'll get to share your voice a little bit more intentionally and help shape the future resources that we create, and collaborate with other parents and caregivers to develop the tools that matter for them. And so there's a few ways that families can get involved. We actually have a focus group that will meet quarterly, and they can participate in 1 hour conversations. And just so you know, these quarterly focus groups are led by researchers, and I think there's a licensed therapist who like deeply cares about this work. And so while this is not group therapy, they bring their expertise to the space, right? We also have some brief surveys that they can take, and they can again provide valuable insight as we continue to create more resources. And all participants, in addition to getting to participate in all of these wonderful things, will receive an Amazon gift card. And so they can join the movement by either scanning this code that they'll get on this card, or they can email us at hello@sacredrootsnetwork.com. And so this is what's in your box. It's a lot. Some of it is actually just like opportunities for them to participate in other things. Some of it is like, hey, these resources are coming. But when you get this, we want to hear from you. We want to hear how these resources work in your community, how they work in your church, what ideas you've used to implement this in ways that are supportive to the families in your community. Thank you so much for investing in young families. I mean, truly, it is holy work. It is hard work, but it is holy, and you have answered the call to do ministry with families, with their littles, right? And with their grown-ups. And so that's big work. It's big work, and we know that during these times, it might feel hard to connect with those families, especially in that life stage, because we're all just trying to make it. And so we are honored to partner with you to help you resource them as best as you can. And we also know that building those relationships with those families is the most crucial part. And so thank you for doing that work. And if you ever have any questions, you are welcome to reach out to your coach. You're welcome to reach out to Hello Sacred Roots, hello@sacredrootsnetwork.com. You can look at our socials. We're on YouTube, and we're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And so interact with us. We would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts moving forward. And we're just so grateful to be in ministry with you. Bye.